is statement of cash flow. Our topic today, Kennedy, your video is on. Your video is on. Make sure that your video is off so that you don't interfere with other students' bandwidth. So I'm saying that our topic of study today will be statement of cash flow. How do we prepare statement of cash flow? Remember, statement of cash flow is one of the component of financial statement. One of the component of financial statement. Of course, we have 5 components, but today I want us to focus on one, which is statement of cash flow. The standard that governs us here is International Accounting Standard 7. Please note that the standard that governs us in presentation and preparation of statement of cash flow is standard number 7. Standard number 7. Hata kama tunaweza malizia klasi yetu saa hii hapo, at least you know the standard that governs the preparation or presentation of statement of cash flow is standard number 7. Standard number 7. Please note that. So when it comes to presentation or preparation of cash flow, we have 2 methods, but I don't want to go to that direction. First of all, what I want you to get here is that we are having 3 major activities. We are having 3 major activities. For those people who are employed in a various company, if you usually prepare the statement of cash flow, more so those companies that are listed, in the Nairobi Security Exchange, I know you do prepare some statement of cash flow, and there are those activities that are involved. Who can mention for us one of the activity, tafadhali? Who can mention for us one of the activity under statement of cash flow? One of the activity. Moja tu. Just mention one. Somebody. Come on. Aha. Thank you so much, Richard Ocheng. Richard Ocheng has it. So we are saying that we are having 3 activities. Na hakuna kitu ita change. They will remain to be 3 unless we put something else, or we change the standard. The activity as per now, and it had been 3 activity, and one of them is operating activities. Operating activity. All those activity undertaken in a company or in an organization in order to do what? To generate revenue. In order to generate revenue. Operating activity. Then we have activity number 2, which is investing activity. Asante sana. I can see you are still giving me those investing activities. Investing activity class. When we talk about investment, we do invest in those non-current assets. Non-current assets. You can invest in motor vehicle. You can invest in real estate, those are building, and so on. Investment activities. Investment activity. You can purchase a motor vehicle and sell. You can be doing that business of purchasing and selling. Investment activity. Investing activity. Then the last activity is financing activities. So before the end of our today's class, you will be in a position to know how we allege this activity and how we come up with a statement of cash flow. In fact, what is important for you to note today is that those are the activities that are found as far as the cash flow statement is concerned. As far as the cash flow statement is concerned, you're going to find the 3 activities. That is operating activity, investing activity, and then financing activity. Remember, every business must be financed. Uskaidanganywa na mtu. Every business need to be financed, and it is either financed internally or externally. It must be financed in 2 ways, either from outside or from inside. So you can borrow loan. Of course, when you borrow loan, what happens to the cash? Remember, here we are looking at the cash. We're looking at the cash. What is happening to our cash? Hiyo ndio major reason for us to prepare the statement of cash flow. And that's why it's called cash flow statement, cash flow. How is our cash moving out, our cash coming in? So when you borrow a loan, what happened to your cash? I know that is a liability. Yes, it is a liability. But what happened to the cash? We look at the cash here. Here we look at the cash. When I borrow a loan, what happened? It increases. Our cash increases. So if we borrow loan, our cash increases, and that means the value of that loan, we add it under financing activity. It is added. It is a loan, yes. But when we look at the effect to the cash, we add that cash flow. We add that cash inflow. What if we pay dividend? What if we pay dividend? What is happening to the cash? That is the mind I want you to have. When you hear of cash flow statement, cash at bank increase. Cash at bank increase. When we pay dividend, our cash reduces. Our cash reduces, and therefore that will be subtracted. It will be subtracted. So here we are looking at the cash inflow, the cash that are coming in, and the cash outflow. What happened when we purchase an item? Let me not call it an item. When we purchase an asset, what happened to our cash? We have purchased. Tumenunua, cash reduces. Yes. So any reduction of our cash, any reduction, we just put it in words here, any reduction in cash should be eliminated. So if our cash, if any activity that we do reduces our cash, it is reducing our cash, we subtract it. We subtract. And vice versa is true. So we have two methods in preparation of this. In preparation of cash flow, we have two methods. Tuko na mbili, moja direct method, two, that is boy, indirect method. Direct method and indirect method. Direct method and indirect method. Class, when we look at the direct method, is whereby we need to know the exact cash received from our debtor and the exact cash paid. Once you consider that, under operating activity, you will be at a good position to perform in this question. Remember, the difference between the two methods comes just under operating activity. The difference between the two methods is just found under operating activity. That means from investing activity up to financing activity, the other things are similar. But when it comes to operating activity, that is where we draw the line. So today, I want us to go direct to the indirect method. Mark you that for you to understand the indirect method, first of all, identify whether you are having profit before tax. It can be a profit or a loss. And then you adjust it. We need to adjust that profit before tax. For the indirect method, tunaifanya backward. Tunaanza kwa profit before tax tukisonga, ili at the end of the day, we see the balance of cash that will be carried down at the end of the day. Good. So, I want us to first of all look at the format of coming up with the indirect method. Format. Using indirect method. And by the way, I hope that all of us are in class, by the way. I hope you are all in class. Najua semester ishaanza eh? So I hope that all of us are in class. Nani hajaingia class bado? Nani hajaingia class bado? Nani hajaingia class bado? So format using indirect method. Great. For the cash flow, I would advise that you be using two what? Two column. So we can have the two column there. Shillings. The first activity is operating activities. That is cash flow from operating. It's good to state it. It is cash flow from which activity? Let us just put it in that order. Cash flow from operating activities. Great. Cash flow from operating activity. And I would like you to scare the examiner by underlining this. Examiner akiona hiyo anakuwa scared. You scare the examiner. You need to scare the examiner. Find some of your ways to scare the examiner. So you underline that heading. And then you come and tell that examiner that what we start with here, either loss or profit before tax. This is what we are going to adjust. Sasa hiyo ni mark. Imagine by identifying this one, by identifying that one, I think I should put it in the first column so that I'm able to adjust. And then the second column will be for my net cash flow from each activity. My second column will be net cash flow from each activity. So I would like you to follow keenly. The knowledge in here is worth it. So this will be a mark for you identifying the profit before tax. The profit before tax. I want to send you to the format of the income statement. You check how the income statement is. We have sales, less cost of sale, and then we less expenses. Once you less expenses, before you less tax, we have profit before tax. And then you less tax to get profit after tax. Wakati mwingine, examiner anaweza kuletea profit after tax. We shall look at it when examiner give you profit after tax. That means now we are going back to profit before tax. That means we shall be adding tax back. See? Sitaki tuangalie hapo sahi. Nataka kwanza tuangalie hapa tukiwa tumepewa nini? Profit before tax. Profit before tax. So in that case, if you are where we have the profit before tax in the income statement, you look upward. You look upward. Those items that are upward, we call them adjustment of non-cash item. Adjustment of non-cash items. Adjustment of hii haita change. Mimi nakwambia kwamba hii ita remain kuwa hivi unless hii standard ichangewe. Unless the standard is changed. Adjustment of non-cash item. Who can give me one of the non-cash item that you know? Please. One of the non-cash item that you know. Nipatie tu moja. I just need one. Just give me one. Non-cash item. Impairment, depreciation. Thank you so much. Non-cash item. Something that is a provision. Remember, depreciation is a provision. An accountant anaketi pale anasema, let's provide for depreciation at 25%. At a rate of 25%, you see. Provision. Gain on disposal. You see, those are just provision. So we have an acronym here, DAG. Tafadhali. For you to identify the non-cash item, tafadhali, you can be using this acronym where this stands for depreciation, as you have told me. Impairment. Amortization. We have loss on disposal of assets. Next one, Nani anaweza nipatia hii? G stand for the new student. Remember, we are looking at cash flow statement, right? For those who are still joining, we are looking at cash flow statement. So G stand for gain, gain on sale of assets. We are doing well. Then we have finance cost. Of course, we have other items that will come in. Therefore, in this case, I want you to note something. We are trying to adjust this. We are adjusting the profit before tax. Now, when I stand in my income statement, where I have the profit before tax, at the top, I have item like finance cost. Can you tell me what happened to finance cost for me to arrive to the profit before tax? Did we subtract or did we add? Somebody. Tulitoa ama tuliongeza ili tupate profit before tax. We are accountants. Mary anatuambia ni Masi anatuambia vizuri confidently that we subtract. Hiyo ni ukweli. That is a fact. This is a cost. This is an expense. Therefore, that one we subtract. That one we do what? We subtract. So, when it comes to adjustment of this, we are going to add it. We are going to add. Hatutatoa. We are going to add it. The same case happened to the depreciation. The depreciation is also subtracted for us to arrive to what? The profit before tax. Therefore, for that one, we still add it back. Impairment is reduction of value of non-cash item. Reduction of value. Therefore, also we do add. Loss still is subtracted, we add. What about gain? Gain on sale of asset. Remember, for the gain on sale of asset, we usually take it as an income. We add it. So when it comes to cash flow tafadhali, we shall be subtracting. And with that, we shall have adjusted the first part. For that one, you can say, this is cash flow. Before changes in working capital. Working capital. Now, guys, can you give me some of the components of working capital? Just mention them, and eliminate cash because this is cash flow. So we are looking at cash at the end of it all. Receivable, inventory and payable. Wachia hapo. Sasa you people, you are bright. How I pray the 62 of us are coming April, we're going to pass this paper round 1. Tukiwa tumeondokea. Na mjaniambia kama mko darasani kweli. So in this case, we're going to look at changes in working capital. So for you to identify the changes, we can use the acronym LEAP. Receivables, we have inventory, and we have payables, as you have given me, payables. So in this case, there's something I want you to note. Yes, exactly. Kimonge anapatia the exact thing that we need. Asante sana. So we need to know during the financial year, what happened to our receivable. Of course, you'll be having 2 periods, the starting period and the current, the previous and the current. So you check. We'll give you a good, for example, I have year 2021 here, 2021 and 2020. This is the current year, the previous year. So this stands for all the balances that were brought down. And this is for balances that are carried down. Note that. Balances brought down, balances carried down. So if I have inventory here, inventory here. Here I have 2,000 and here I have 4,000. I want a good student to tell me what happened to inventory. Did these people purchase or did they sell the inventory? Aya. When is the day today? I wish siku ingekuwa leo ni date ngapi? Tarehe ngapi? Mwezi iko bado. Aya. Nehemia, our good friend, anatuambia kwamba these people sold some inventory. We go to the other one. We have receivables. Receivable hapa alikuwa na 900, alafu huku akakuwa na 1500. What happened to the receivable? Wenye walikuwa na deni yetu, walitulipa ama tulikopesha wengine wengi? Hiyo ndio unajiuliza. Did they pay us or we added? Walilipwa. Wewe. Walitulipa. Asanti. Walitulipa. Good. I know there is a lot of mathematics to others here. There is a lot of mathematics in between your mind. Tafadhali, I want to reduce that burden. Tafadhali, I want to reduce the burden of thinking whether did they sell or did... Hiyo ndio nataka tuondoe. If you look at the current year and the previous year. You shall be using a format here, a very nice format, that you shall be taking the opening minus closing. And whatever that you get, whether it's a negative, you just place it there, the way it is. For example, let's check from the inventory. Inventory, the opening was 4,000. Alafu, tutoe nini? Closing of 2,000. So, hao watu wamefanya nini? Wameuza. Tumebaki na 2,000. So, hiyo itakuwa nini? Itakuwa 2,000. Ikiwa in positive form. On. So, the same case applied to this one. Opening ilikuwa 1,500. Minus 900. So 600. Unaiweka ikiwaje? Ikiwa hivyo. Unaweka 600. Like as simple as that. So I wish I just reverse this and have it like this. This is 2,000 and this is maybe 1,000. So opening ni ngapi? 1,000 minus 2,000. So that means tuliongeza madeni. Unakuja unaweka ikiwa negative. Are we together up to that point? For the new students who are using Zoom for the first time, for you to agree with what Mwalimu is asking, you use Y for yes. If you disagree, you use N for no, so that Mwalimu can repeat. So are we together as far as that concept is concerned? For the assets, you are to take opening minus closing. As simple as that. Don't think don't think of that. So are we together up to that point before we go to payables? Tafadhali, I'd like to get a signal from all of us. At least you have a chance to chat with us. But I've remembered something. Before we go to payables. I was almost forgetting that I need to remind you of a very nice thing that this is financial reporting. This is a good news. Is there any advanced level student here? Any advanced level student who have joined? Tuko naye. Good news to you as well. Financial reporting and financial management. We have introduced early morning sessions. Early morning. Sasa hii mimi wakati wenye nilisoma nilitamani sana early morning, but sikupata. Nyinyi mko na advantage to 7 AM. Only for the two, financial reporting and financial management, intermediate level. Advanced nakuja kwenu. Evening session still available for now for the other units in the intermediate, but hizi unazipata early morning na evening. This is from let me just say from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Though kuna FM yenye inaanza 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Of course, now this one you join at your own convenience. 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 Is it a good idea for us to introduce for us to have introduced this? Is it a good idea? Kindly, I'd like to get feedback. Is it a good idea? Imagine during my time, hakukuwa na hii. Nilikuwa natamani sana. Can I join the two classes? Yeah. Imagine if you pay Kenya shilling 4,800 for one unit. Kenya shilling 4,800. Of course, 2 installments allowed. You will join morning session. If you wish to join both, you pay marambiri. You find that these are 2 hours. 2 hours, you know, a 2 hours session. It's a complete package. This is a complete session. If you wish to join both, you just double this. Una double. You just double this. Una join zote. But according to your schedule, you just choose. Just choose which suits you better. Kuna wale wenye wanataka mapema, kuna wale wengine wa jioni, and you will enjoy it. You enjoy it. If you enroll today, we are having the previous pre-recorded videos from uploaded in our LMS, Learning Management System. So you shall be able to cover. This is Mildred. You know, it's a complete package. It's a complete package, 2 hours each, a different lecturer, of course. You see, you've been taught by a different lecturer. Maybe in the morning, you find a different lecturer, in the evening, a different. You see, now, nayo expenses ziko, bado ziko juu. No, bado ziko juu. Expenses bado ziko juu. So if you wish to enroll, please contact our customer care. Double knowledge. Yes, double knowledge. Who's that? Triza. You can contact our customer care via 0719 525 000. If you found that this number is very busy, you can alternatively use 0793 555 000. Unaweza tumia hizo number. So for the payable, tafadhali, for the payable, we do the opposite. Closing minus opening. Closing minus opening. And whatever that you get, you just press it at that point. Just press it at that point. Just press it at that point. I've seen somebody asking the pay bill. Payment detail. Pay bill. Payment details. Tuko na pay bill hapa. Naweza lipa tu na utume hiyo M-Pesa 62 42 839. Account weka kama ni FR, kama ni FM. Unit name. Account unaweka unit name FR, FM, like that. Now utakuwa sorted. Then forward the M-Pesa message to one of these number. Forward the M-Pesa message to one of these number. Class, let's finish up here. Acha tumalize hapa. Now, after that, you can come here and get cash flow after changes in working capital. 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 Once you get that, we are almost done. We're almost done with the cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from operating activity. You less tax paid. Less tax paid. Is it really visible? Tax paid. Do you guys have weekend classes only for CPA intermediate level? A good question there. A good question from Cynthia. Cynthia Akelo. I'm going to respond to that question ASAP. Tax paid. And then kuna watu wengi wamekuwa kitaabika kwamba unajua wakati unapata kwamba kuna tax inaonekana pale kwa balance sheet, tax iko kwa balance sheet na kuna tax iko kwa income statement. unafaa ukue makini sana. You have to determine the exact tax paid. So you can have a tax account. Can you tell me, tax, is it a liability or an asset? Tax, liability, asset? To adjust board kidogo. Chini kidogo. There's somebody who is writing this. Yeah, that is okay. Tax, mmesema, is it a liability ama ni asset? Somebody nisaidie hapo. Tax paid, alafu it's a liability. So it has a what? A credit balance, right? So the balance brought down. Of course, kwa balance sheet, balance brought down. Kama hapa nilikuwa na ya 2021 na 2020. So the balance brought down iko kwa 2020 tafadhali. Balance brought down iko kwa 2020. Then balance carried down iko kwa 2021, and then there is that tax paid. There's that tax in the income statement. Can somebody tell me itaenda wapi? In our T account itaenda wapi? Credit ama debit? Credit ama debit? Haya, kuna hiyo tax iko kwa, tunataka to identify the actual tax paid hapa. Credit ama debit? Kimonge hapa. Remember, hiyo yenye iko kwa income statement huwa inakuja hapa automatically. Remember, tax is a liability. Sasa hapa ndio tunakuja tunasema nini? Bank. Na sasa hii ndio balancing figure, na ndio tunaleta pale. Tumeelewa hapo? Have you understood how to come up with the tax paid? The exact tax. You come up with account. It's a liability. With this. Bona uandike kama bank. Okay. You can put it, inaweza lipwa through check. This is a Triza, a good question. Bona unaweka bank. Inaweza lipwa through check and so on. Yeah. Ama ukuja hapa uandike tu tax paid. Sasa Triza. Sasawa. So the tax is a liability. For the sake of Martin, tax is a liability. So it has a credit balance. So the balance brought down is credited. And then balance carried down. Wakati wowote, once you find a liability, balances zake brought down from the previous period is credited, and then debit the carrying down, and then the amount in the income statement should be credited, and then you get the balancing figure. The balancing figure, it's either bank or unaweza pia tuona cash. Kama useme tu tax paid, you can just say tax paid. So hiyo ndio utaweka wapi? Pale. Then still the same case happen to the interest paid. Still unakuja hapa, interest paid. So unafanya the same. Hizi unatoa. Ukishatoa hivyo, now we want to utilize our column number 2. As I love this, is there any question regarding this information? Any question regarding this information? Swali lolote? I want to lab it. Uliza tu swali, nitajibu. I'm going to answer. Okay, for the advanced level student, nimekumbuka kwamba there are these units which we have both early morning and evening session. LM, Leadership and Management, Advanced Financial Reporting, and Advanced Financial Management. Ukiangalia, hizi zinakuwa mzigo kwa mwanafunzi. So ndio maana tunaona kwamba kuna yule mwanafunzi hawezi kuingia jioni. Akilipia ya jioni unakuta hapati time nzuri ya kusoma hizi. So such a student opt to the morning session. So at least we are able to, and also the business data and the big thing, business data analytic, BDA, it's also in both session, evening and morning. evening and morning. Good. I hope that is very clear. AMA. Let me mention AMA. Why? Hii ni muhimu sana. AMA is now compulsory. Kama wewe December exam ulifanya intermediate level na ukapita. If you did intermediate level during December exam na ukapita, ukiingia advanced level, tafadhali, hii ni unit yako sasa. Na ni compulsory. Are we together? Sasa hata nyinyi wenye tuko intermediate level, jueni kwamba AMA imekuwa sasa compulsory. Are we together? Those are good news. Hiyo ni good news. Are you getting the good news now? AMA. Ukienda advanced level from intermediate, unaipata pale. And it is a good thing. Is it not? We hear the response of the AMA. This is a good news. Some people watakai kusikia AMA. Sasa imeletwa hapo ndani tafadhali. Sasa psychologically be ready to have four compulsory papers for at good what? At bad news. So let's continue. So in this case, I have my sharings here. I have the sharings. So we are still proceeding. This is cash flow from net cash flow from operating activities. Naiweka hapo. And then class, you go to the other activity, which is investing activities. So in our next class, I know we shall be able to do, what is the time? 41. So I am having like 10 minutes. Good news. What? Watu watai kusikia AMA. Investing activities. Cash flow from investing activities. Cash flow from investing activities. This one unakuja unasikia the examiner. Akiona hivyo, najua huyu hatari zaidi. Purchase of asset. Sasa nataka tuangalie, if we purchase asset, what happened to our cash? If we purchase asset, very fast, tumalizane na hii. What happened to the cash? Tunaangalia cash hapa. It reduces, so we less. Our cash ime reduce. Sale of asset or sales profit. I call it sale profit. Our assets, our cash may increase, and so on and so on. And then you can have your total there. You can call it what? Cash flow, net cash flow from. This is investing activities. Yeah. Exactly, Ketel and Vic, it will increase. So we go to cash flow from financing. Cash flow from financing activities as well. Scare the examiner. Here we have increase in shares. Increase in share or issue of share. Increase in share. When how many more units in advance apart from the 4 compulsory one? Okay, a good question from Joyce. Allow me to respond to Joyce. So we have advanced auditing and assurance, advanced taxation. We have APFT, advanced public financial management, APFM management, advanced public financial management. So there are 3. Yeah? So you choose. Hizo zingine unachagua either moja ama mbili. Ukichagua mbili, ufanye uanguke moja ya kuchagua, itakuhaunt lazima ufanye mpaka umalize. Ukichagua mbili, ukichagua moja, moja at least ni manageable, mbili inalingana na uwezo na time yako. Good. Increase in share or issue of share. Let me just go with the issue of share. Loan borrowed. So when we issue shares, our cash ina increase. Tukiomba loan ina increase. Dividend paid. Tukilipa, our cash inafanya nini? Ina reduce, and then tunaweza pata our net cash flow from financing. Net cash flow from financing activities. Net cash flow from financing activity. Now, class, I want you to be very keen here. Now, any of the three, this net, any of the three, unaweza kuta kwamba, so it's either 5 units or 6 units. Yes. Alafu sasa after umemaliza na hiyo advanced level hizo, the specialization and the compulsory, you have to do what? You have to do the business data analytic. We call it an exit paper. Alafu after that unafanya ethic and so on na unamaliza. How is a mere being compulsory affecting advanced level units who were there before 2024? Before 2024, this is Muitavia Boniface. Asanti, a very nice question. So, let's body to that shortly. So, I'm saying that katika hizi tatu, the net, unaweza kuta kwamba, for example, this was more than this. So, hapa inakuwa ni negative. Naona? Inakuwa ni negative. So, what you do, you sum them the way you get to get net cash flow from changes. Net cash flow from changes. Net changes in cash and cash. Net changes in cash and cash equivalent. Net changes in cash and cash equivalent, unaweka pale. So, Muitavia, how is AMA being compulsory affecting advanced level unit? I would replace the unit with a student, advanced level student, who are there before 2024. Good. AMA, kama wewe ulifanya mtihani, your advanced level, pepa zako za mwisho za kumalizia, unamalizia advanced level. You had attempted advanced level. There is nowhere utapatana na nini? AMA. Unless otherwise, wewe ngangana April umalizia hiyo kitu. Sawa Muteja, ngangana umalizia hiyo kitu Kambura. Unajua tuko kuziba unaziba. Okay. Is branch account part of the file syllabus? Good question from Matriza. Branch account? Yes, branch account iko a file. Lakini vitu kama insurance, bank, hizo zimepelekwa advanced level. So ukipatana na pepa ya kutoka 2021 kwenda nyuma, August 2021 kwenda nyuma, you get something branch, not branch but bank, insurance and so on, ziko advanced level, advanced financial management. So class, you're almost there. Allow me to finish. I know some of us want to go back to work, and allow me just to finish this so that in our next class now, having the format, we will be able to do a full question. By the way, how many of you are willing to enroll with us? How many of you are willing to enroll? Nani anasikia kwamba kujisomea imekuwa tricky, a challenge? Who is feeling that nasikia anaweza enroll with us? Who is promising to enroll with us? Now, the last thing here is we add cash and cash equivalent already. Thank you. Alelon, asanteni na Mungu awabariki. So you add cash and cash equivalent. Hujachelewa. Equivalent than what? Brought down. So kwa ile miaka yetu brought down iko wapi? Iko kwa our year 2020 brought down, unaongeza pale. Alafu sasa what we get as the result here class, what we get as the result here, it is cash and cash equivalent and cash equivalent carried down. And this one, it should match with the cash in the closing. Advanced level hatujaenda pia. Lessons zenye zimefunzwa ni kama 4. Unajua sasa sisi huwa tunafunza tuki, so that means those that have been covered, video ziko, notes ziko, everything is there. So hujachwa. Nione there are a lot of questions coming in here. I would like to know, kindly let me if I can pay. Yes, I did not mention the installment. By the way, you can pay in 2 equal installment. 2 equal installment. 2. We understand the economy is somehow tough, so you just pay Kenya shilling 2400 per unit. Halafu unawekwa kwa our paid group. Wewe unaendelea kusoma ukitafuta pesa. Tunajua kwamba kuna maswali hapa. Only 2 units, intermediate level, FR and audit. Hizo utapita wasi. Ukiingia utapita. Advanced level, we are already enrolled. Okay, there are those who are enrolled. Okay, there are those present. I'm already there. Aha. It's very interesting. Okay, thank you so much. This is Max Miller. Asante.